And I'm your co host, Carrie Thomas.
The theme for this Youth Month is Rethink Resilience through Entrepreneurship, Training, Hope, Innovation, Networking, and Knowledge. Our guest today is Miss Tanisha Reid, who has been resilient through trials and has been inspiring us through hope and entrepreneurship. Tanisha, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
So, Tanisha, I'm going to have a few questions, but before I'm going to ask Miss Thomas to just ask her questions before I come back to you because I am a little bit more knowledgeable about your story.
Okay, Tanisha. So I only met you a few weeks ago and I've heard your story. So, what I want you to tell our audience, who is Tanisha?
Okay, so my name is Tanisha Reid, and I am a entrepreneur. Um, I Let me start from before. So I used to be a volunteer. I was big on volunteering. I was also the 2015, actually the first most influential female youth leader for Clarendon. That's in 2015. A volunteer, a mother, of course, and I was a youth club assistant here at the Clarendon Youth Innovation Center, and I am a farmer.
Perfect. Sounds like a lot.
Yeah, Tanisha, that's always been very involved. So, Tanisha, what I want you to share with our audience today, what was the driving force and what was the driving force, the decision really, to go into farming?
Okay, so um, um, should I say when I was younger? Um, I was struggling. I was really struggling. When I tell you about struggle, it was a real struggle. I had my daughter, and I remember there were days when I couldn't buy Pampers. I literally had to go to the shop either to credit Pampers, 3 Pampers, or stuff like that. So it was a struggle. My partner was a disc jockey. And honestly, that wasn't bringing in much. I was searching for a job, I couldn't find a job. So that was when I even turned to volunteering because I was just at home and I couldn't bother with being at home. So since I couldn't find a job, I decided to volunteer. Through volunteering, I remember helping or asking for assistance for persons, even though I was struggling. And there was this person that I would always reach out to for help for others. And then one day I was talking to him about myself and I was telling him all the struggles that I was going through. And he said to me, but you're always looking to help a person. So what is it that you would want to do? And at that time, we used to plant catch crops. So, we had pumpkins, peppers, all those little tomatoes, whatever it is. And I was showing him. But before that, we had goats. And then I told him that I wanted to do goats. So basically, it was just a way of me trying to get out of poverty, trying to, trying to just basically trying to make an income for myself there.
And this farming business that you have, you are the sole owner or you are in this with someone else?
All right. So, all right, I'm going to give you the farming story. So, how we got started in farming. So, the Lincoln where I met him on Facebook and I was a part of a volunteer group called the Voices for Jamaica Today Foundation. And I was very active in that group and Lincoln was one of the chairpersons for the group. Um, he was given the responsibility for Clarendon. So Lincoln is the person that I just spoke about, that I was always seeking help for others. So Lincoln had bought me the first goat. So we had the goat. Take At that time I didn't meet Lincoln, just over Facebook, and All right, come back now. All right, so I met Lincoln on Facebook, and he sent money, and I purchased the one goat, and we had the goat for months. The first time Lincoln came to Jamaica, um, I had an interview in Kingston for a job, and I was basically tricked by one of my other friends because I didn't know he was coming to Maypen. And I had the interview, and I was there waiting to give somebody something for her, and then it was Lincoln coming. It was about 2 days after my birthday. So they had made plans for me. So because Lincoln made me late for my interview in Kingston, I told him that he had to take me to Kingston, which he did. When I got back, they had a surprise party for me at Juicy Beef. Um, my partner now, Chicky, or Chickstar, when I called him and I said, you know that Lincoln is in Jamaica, he said to me that I must take him to the house. So I took Lincoln to the house, and he met Chickstar as well. And they were talking, and I guess the passion that Chickstar had outpouring to him, and the little one goat him to him by, and how we took care of the goat. Um,
Shine.
you know, um, they became friends, and then it all began from there. So from that one goat now, from Chickstar met him, Chickstar kept on telling him that he just wanted to do goats. So that's basically how it started. So we were Lincoln now was being a mentor to us. So he did not only purchase goats, but he also built a network for us. And I don't know what I was going to say. Yes, he built. Yes, that's where it went from there. So basically, I was the person doing like the what would you say? No, Trickstar was underground. I mostly did the that word did not come.
For the marketing in
Not,
terms of
no man,
sales,
not really the marketing.
networking,
We never know upon them,
the legwork.
yes, basically the legwork or the finance, like the money part. I handled that part, and Lincoln dealt with marketing.
All right, so we're hearing about you and young people. Don't just go and meet somebody on Facebook and start doing transaction with them. But it is important that we understand that even the relationships that we have, they can start on these platforms. But once we are careful and do everything, safely, then good things can come of them. So Tanisha was just telling us about her meeting Lincoln by the one goat, and the goat gets shined. So we're right here now, Tanisha, but you are telling us about your partner being the main face behind it. But now we know that you are the sole person in charge of the farm. I see about 200 and something goats crossing the road sometimes. How did we get here to you being the person totally in charge of the farm and running such a successful enterprise
All right.
at Faithful Farms?
So, as I said before, Trickstar was the main person. I was mainly doing. I was always helping. Sometimes if I leave work and he's grazing, I would go where he is if I know. If there were like problems like hoof problems or so forth, I would deal with that because I'm a person. I think I wanted to become a nurse, so I'm passionate where certain things are concerned. So for dressing cuts and those stuff, that's one of my passions.
And the goat pedicures is also a passion.
Yes.
Or
so, um, so Trickstar was the person who would be managing the farm. I did minor works on the farm, but I also had another job as a youth club aide. So last year, October, during the heavy rains, Trickstar went out to graze, and he was coming in, and he went to run the goats from out of the yard. There was a open pit in the yard. about 16 feet deep. But because of the rains, the hole was filled with water. With water. And he went over there and he fell in the pit and he drowned. So I, from that day, I had to stop working and take up the task of being the farm manager.
So, yeah, that's a lot. And how was it been?
Well, at it was rough. It is still rough, but it gets easier now because at the time of his passing, our son was just 7 months, so I basically had a baby, plus there were other kids, and it was really rough because I had to be rerouting everything. Um, I remember being asked by Lincoln if I wanted to continue, and the only answer I had was yes, because when I looked around and see the investment need, because this person that is not related to us, just met and built a relationship there, and he invested so much money, housing for the goats, feeding, literally everything. To me, it would have been unfair to say I wanted to give up. Furthermore, knowing that my partner died doing this, I wouldn't want to stop because I think if I get up one morning and look through the window and don't see the ghost, it's going to break my heart even more. So I didn't have a choice. And to me, being an entrepreneur, um, I know what it can bring in versus working for somebody. So I just decided to take that option of continuing the business.
Okay, so you're a mother, you're an entrepreneur, and that's a role. Those two roles can be really, really heavy. So I know you have Lincoln. So tell us about other support systems that you may have. Who is there to help you emotionally and physically on the farm or with the children?
All right, so all right, the farming community. There are a lot of farmers that are supportive in the sense that um, they call, they make checks. If I ever have a problem with a goat, there are some persons that are my go-to persons at any hour of the night. So I have a tremendous support from the farming community. Lincoln is one of my biggest supporters. Lincoln is, I don't know, he's not my business partner. He's more of my father. He curses every time when I say that, but yes,
The support system, the rest of it.
Where are you
okay.
from?
So my support system is Lincoln is one of my main supporters. He is like, since the passing of Trickstar, he took on a father role for the children. And let me get this clear because a lot of persons, I am bombarded with questions like persons think that there is a different relationship. There is absolutely no relationship between Lincoln and I. The only relationship we have is like a father to daughter relationship. He's like a father to the kids. And he has never, ever come close to that path. So I'm just putting it out there because
Yes.
persons keep on asking because they don't think that there are persons out there that genuinely care or can be genuinely kind. So I'm just letting you know. Yes.
Yes.
So good when you find genuine people.
Like, yeah,
Absolutely.
especially as mentors, because I know a lot of young people maybe they're searching for mentors, and the moment sometimes you see the mentorship relationship going well, sometimes other things come into
Start to get
get
inappropriate.
yeah, and by the time it gets inappropriate, now you have to drop it. So that is an example of like a good network that manifested into a mentorship, a partnership. So when we're talking about rethink, a lot of us may be saying, COVID-19 going on, and we can't get a chance. You can still do your mentorship online. So Tanisha found her mentor online. And as we say, everything you do it carefully, and you ensure that whenever you're doing anything at all, you do it
Professionally.
professionally, carefully, and just have your objectives on the table from the start. So Tanisha, we heard you're going to tell us a little bit about the rest of the support system, and then you tell us about some of the highs and lows.
All right, so as I said, the farmers, they're very supportive. There are persons that I have never met face to face. I know them by talking to them on the phone, or through social media, and they have been supportive. There is one farmer that recently took on the responsibility for my daughter. He wants to be responsible for her up to tertiary level. Um, I really want to call his name, and I'm going to. I don't even know if it's okay, but Mr. Terrence Thompson from Savannah Goat Farm. Thank you so much, sir. Yes. So, one of the things, this is not even about support, but one of the things that I've learned from my experience is honesty. Honesty is one of the best things, because I can safely say I am where I am today because of honesty. Um, yes. What other question?
That's really good. And doing farming, what are some of the great highlights that you have that come out? Some of the very good things about farming that you think?
All right. So, um, for me, it is profitable if done correctly, and with the expertise of Lincoln there. He is good at marketing, he's good at networking, and he is teaching me. So with all of that, I think I'm doing okay. I'm doing pretty well. Um, it has its highs and its lows. One of the lows is death of the animal. So sometimes you can have a high mortality rate. You have to be keen. So especially in a kidding season, if you're having like probably 20 to 30 kids come in, you have to know how to manage them, because that's where the money will be. So if it is that you wait 5 months for a goat, you breed the goat wait 5 months to have the kids, and then when the kids are born, they're dying, then you're not gonna make any money. So it's basically you have to be good at managing certain aspects of it. So one of the lows, as I said, is the mortality rate. If you're having issues there, that's going to be a big issue. Another, for goat farming, another low is when you have drought and there's no grass. You have to buy um, hay, you have to buy oats, you have to buy grain. So, those are just some of the lows. Um, um, Another low is predial larceny. That can be a low. If it is that you have your animals, and then your greener animals and persons are gonna come and take them. Um, yep.
Take them for a walk and bring them back.
No, there are those persons that will steal. So that's one low.
Have you ever been a victim of that?
Um, no, not to one. Mm-mm, no.
And you think that is one of the reasons you can attribute to success because of the systems that prevent the predial larceny.
Well, um, yes, I at this point I am the community where I live. Um, the persons in my community, they look out for me. Um, so I don't have that issue of predial larceny. I can honestly say that even if they see a goat maybe straying and they're not sure if it's my goat, they
Carry
will
it.
come. Or they send and they say, or they get a number and call me and say, Mr. One go out here, so if a year ago, you know. So the community is quite supportive.
It takes a village.
Yes, it does.
And you see, we see you are striving, especially with farming being a male-dominated field. How are you managing?
All right. If you know me from the get-go, I am this type of person. I think I am rough. So I am not the kind of, the stush person. I'm not stush. I am more of a down-to-earth person. I'm never afraid to get my hands dirty. So it's not really hard, and it wasn't really hard for me because from before I was always doing. It's just that I wasn't upfront. But I knew a lot before a year ago because you can say I've been the farm manager for a year now. It's a year and a week. So I'm just this person. I'm never afraid. I just feel like I can do anything I put my mind to. I'm always put my mind to doing whatever I set out to do. So it's not really hard. It's not really hard. I am not afraid, and I don't see no man better than me. Me just feel say if a man can do it,
Girl
me can do
power.
it too.
Yes.
Sure.
Definitely. Okay, Tanisha, so I'm a young person and a lot of young persons are watching also. And it's time to explore different careers and think about different things that you want to do. If there is a young person that is considering to be a farmer, what advice would you give to that person?
All right, that farming depends on the type of farming. So if they want to be a goat farmer, one of the things that I would encourage them to do is first do their research, have a good network, have a good mentor, and have a good support system. Because trust me, there are things that you may not survive. Because a lot of persons, I'm not sure if they have been through what I have been through, if they would have managed, but because of a strong support system, we were able to overcome.
And it is so true. Everything that we do, we need support because no man is an island, as they say. So that's so true.
And Tanisha, we want to big up Tanisha because Tanisha, has been doing an amazing job as a mother, as an entrepreneur. And when we think about the theme for this youth month, rethink, we're getting a lot of resilience from Tanisha. While she grieving, she bossing up the farm. She is the epitome of hope when we're thinking about stories and reasons to look beyond tomorrow. She is the epitome of strength. And she has one more thing to say.
No, I was just saying, I remember when Chickstar died, and it was about 2 weeks before his funeral. My son at the time was 7 months, was admitted in the hospital, and I had to be planning the funeral and going to the hospital every single day. I was there from in the morning and I stayed until the visiting hours ended. And I had to be doing that. I had to be planning the funeral and I had to be monitoring the ghost. Right? And also, now I have 5 children. So 2 of them are biological. The other 3, I have my brother because her mother passed in 2018. And then I have my 2 other children that are not biological, and then my 2 biological children. So I had to be monitoring them along with the baby in the hospital, and trust me, I remember at that point, I felt like God, I was just literally talking to God every day. Like, God, why me? God, why this? And everything was just going wrong all in that moment. That's basically what I wanted to say.
Tanisha, your story, when she told me, I'm just hearing it, but I'm hearing it from you. It is so inspiring, and I really wish you the best with everything, and I hope you never reach back to that point
Yes.
where all all bad things are happening because God has seen your strength.
Yeah.
So I just hope it's more smooth sailing going forward.
Yes, and well, as I said, Tanisha is when we talk about the theme for this year, we talk about rethinking. And this year, especially with COVID-19, a lot of persons been saying that, there are a lot of mental health challenges that are coming. So while Tanisha was grieving, she had to be running up and down in the hospital, and that really can take like a big toll on your mental health. It takes support system, and it takes like a very good one. So she mentioned her support system, and it takes us back to the theme where we can rethink the possibilities. It gets better. That's my word to persons. It really does get better. She mentioned the highs and lows of entrepreneurship, and she showed that when she talked about the profit, it's mostly highs. For you to, yeah, I want to be a farmer. I want to go and buy 2 little goat kid now and get a start. And also, she mentioned training. Training for a lot of young people may look like going to hard trust or going to a school, but Tanisha has shown us that, listen, training can be informal learning. You can learn from others. And she has been inspiring us by giving us hope. She comes with innovative ways, because Tanisha is the first person I to give good pedicures and coming up with new ways to ensure that her flock, which her investment, is doing extremely well. And she also spoke to the power of networking, about her support system in other goat farmers, about how she found her mentor and how her network has been helping her to be successful. So this has been our first episode, and we want to give special thanks to the Heart Trust NTA, the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information, Jamaica National, the National Integrity Action, and Grace Kennedy for providing us with refreshments. Until then, see you next time.